I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which this episode is being recorded and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. Welcome to Can I Get a Refill? The podcast that offers a nurturing and inspirational space for honest and open discussions around career aspirations, wealth creation, motherhood, healthy relationships with others and the self, as well as an emphasis on physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Join us for lighthearted, authentic chats with like-minded women, as well as more in-depth discussions with industry professionals to support your ambitions and heal old wounds, as we empower you to regularly fill up your own cup. I'm your host, Steph Bruno-Newton, singer, writer, podcast host, mum, and recovering people pleaser. Thank you for pressing play today, and now let's get into the episode. Hello and welcome back to the Can I Get a Refill podcast. I hope you're having a great day and great week wherever you are and whatever you're doing. We had a very different episode planned for today, one that's been in the works for nearly a year in planning, a very VIP guest, which is recorded, it's in the can, but I'm having a day, I'm having a week, and I'm having quite a year. Alan came home and very kindly offered to take Leo out for a walk so I could have a few moments and get some thoughts out because I always want to be authentic. I never want this podcast to be... I see a lot of vloggers and podcasters who talk about manifesting and upgrading their lives and doing things. And whenever something is not feeling great, they look like they want to hide it or they're slightly ashamed or I shouldn't be having feelings like this or going through something because I'm meant to be portraying the image of someone who's got it all together. That's horse shit. You cannot have it together 24/7, 365. Everyone says the line, life is not linear. It is not linear. It's tough some days. If you listen to my last episode of last year, I talked about, I had such a great year. And the last 2 years were fantastic. And I talked about 2025. I was so excited for it because I'm going to get really uncomfortable because I'm pushing some boundaries, doing some new things. And really, it is the hustle year. It is not the, sit and reap the rewards year. And I'm going through it. And going back to work when your child is your first child is 5.5 months old is very hard. And yes, I was warned, so no one can say they didn't warn me. I am exhausted in my eyelashes, in my body, and in my soul, and I'm going through it. And not just that, not just because I'm busy, but some shit has been stirred up and some... people in your life that you thought were real allies, some things have come up and I'm not saying that they're not, and I'm not saying that they're not beautiful people, but it was always written in the stars, even in horoscopes, that this was sort of the spiritual work year, the unveiling, the lifting of the veil year where you see things from a different light or see things perhaps how they really are. But I'm being tested and I'm happy about that because that's going to make me grow and something really amazing is going to happen in the next 1 to 5 years. And this is the year I'm planting the seeds and working really, really hard. And I'm feeling it. And I'm an empath. My energy is low. I don't feel I look very good lately, but that's okay. That's not my strength of how I look. It's the words I say. So I always want to be, a real authentic voice for you. Someone that you feel that you can talk to as well if you're going through it. So I'm sharing some feelings. The subject of the episode is happiness hacks. So you're going to be like, what is this bitch on about? But I'm going through it. So part of my growth is to tap into those hacks that I've learned throughout my 41 and a half years of how to tap into a better mood to manifest better things in my life. So I've got a few little tips and tricks for you. Super quick episode. We're going to talk some things out. Number one, mindset shift. Shift your mindset from I have to do this to I get to do this. Every time you're doing a task that feels inconvenient, mundane, every time when Leo was a newborn and we weren't sleeping that much, mind you, now that I'm working and he's on the move, newborn phase was a breeze. But Every time I would say to Alan, oh, when you're very tired, you got to do the feed and you got to sterilize those bottles, just say, I get to do this. I would look down at Leo's head and be like, oh my Lord, this little human is mine for 18 years. I get to look after you and feed you and take care of you. And it is an absolute blessing. And I am tired and I acknowledge that. But that mindset shift always made me feel so much calmer and slightly more energy. This is a little dramatic, but I'm a little dramatic, so that's okay. Every time I'm really going through it, if there's something that's not feeling great, I always think about how would I feel if it was taken away from me or if this was my last week on earth. Dramatic, I get it. But your sense of appreciation and your perspective shifts immediately. Like if you're really, really sick, all the little things, even like financial things, they just don't seem as important because it's those little things that really matter to you. I think I talked about in a previous episode where they had nurses would talk to people on their deathbed and they would say the thing they missed was the sound of the back door closing when they knew their husband came home, or little things. It's the little things. So a mindset shift is really crucial. So you can feel like shit. You can acknowledge it. You can talk about it. But it's absolutely up to you to not dwell in it and give yourself 24 hours to lick your wounds, shift it. How can you change it? And the mindset, looking at it from a different perspective, is your number one go-to. Number two, surrender. Accept the season of life that you're in. And I always look at my years as I give them a theme or a word, or there's some sort of subject. And I remember 2022, I've talked about, I worked 3 jobs. I had a massive debt from my 20s. I worked my ass off in my 30s to pay it off. And I knew it was just 1 year that I have to work really, really hard, bit of sacrifice, bit of focusing. 2023 was nothing but travel and singing gigs and fell pregnant. It was celebration after celebration, but not every year is a celebratory year. Sometimes you've got to put in the work. Sometimes things aren't going great. So it's accepting the season of life that you're in. I have an 8-month-old baby. Well, he'll be 8 months this week. And sometimes when I take him for walks, and I walk past Northies and Cronulla and see people playing Wednesday night trivia, sometimes I look with a little envy of, oh man, I miss doing things like that. Alan and I were together for 9 years before Leo. We would just up and go and do anything. We'd go anywhere we wanted, and it was a real sense of freedom. But what we're in now is the most rewarding and joyous time of our lives. But it reminds me, if you're my generation and watch The Simpsons, I don't know if you remember an episode where Mr. Burns had monkeys typing for him. And they typed, it was the best of times, it was the blurst of times. And I say that to myself all the time. This is the best of times and the blurst of times every day. It's so fucking hard. And I don't think people say that enough. It is so hard and so freaking joyous and wonderful. And I feel love and gratitude in a way that I never have before. But what I also recognize is that it is so fleeting. This kid is almost about to walk. He started crawling at 6 months. He's pulling himself up into my fridge and grabbing things. He's not a little newborn anymore. I am going to blink, and if I have another kid, I'll be so grateful, and I'll have kids in school, and my life will be back to a bit of doing stuff for me. So instead of feeling frustrated that I'm not, and there is an element of you disappearing into yourself when you're a parent. And sometimes I feel like, and I look at Alan and I know he's feeling the same, so I'm always like, this Friday you're going to golf. You got to do this. Now you take him and I'll do this. It's like you disappear within yourself. You're swallowed up whole, just trying to keep this little person alive. But instead of being frustrated, instead of comparing yourself to you a year or two ago, accept it, surrender. Surrender to where you are and know that it's so fleeting. And this could be anything. This could be like you're working really hard, you're studying in uni, whatever you're doing. It's all temporary, and not every year is celebratory. And I'm in a real hard work, hustle year, and it's tough. And one day I'm going to look back on it so proud of myself for getting through it. So all I can do This whole podcast is about filling up your cup, and all I can do is take those little moments wherever, those little pockets wherever I can, and just do me and look after me. Pay it forward is number 3. Compliment strangers. I have been doing this for years. I work in Double Bay. If you're not from Sydney, let me tell you a little bit about people from Double Bay. They're not the kindest. They're not the warmest. Not all, but they're a little standoffish. And the other day, I never dress up. I sort of agree with Steve Jobs of decision fatigue, and I like to wear a standard black pants and white t-shirt most days just to get through the day. I have enough going on. I'm not dressing up. I dress up on special occasions, not to work. And I dressed up a little because I interviewed a VIP guest that day, and I had my hair done a little bit, and I went for a little walk, and this lovely lady with, I don't even remember so much what she looks like or what she was wearing, but she just glowed from the inside out with joy from her soul onto her face, and I can just picture her smile. She said, "Don't you look lovely today?" And instead of like going, "Oh," I went, "Thank you." That I did put extra effort in that day, and that made me feel great. And I didn't even have to immediately go, "Oh, so do you." And she did, but the point is she gave me a gift, and I accepted it with love and gratitude, knowing that I always pay that to people all the time. Every time I see a woman looking nice, I say it. And from a genuine place. I'm not just saying it if I don't think it. It changes the energy of you. It changes the energy of them. And there is your energy, personal energy, but there's collective energy. And that goes around the world when you change energy. When you go to a music concert and you leave on a high, it's not just because you're seeing your favorite singer, it's because of the collective energy of everyone being joyous together and in the moment. So, compliment strangers, give a warm, genuine smile. I used to make a little game of it on my long Esplanade walks in the morning of how many people's, eyesight can I grab and smile at them. Donate to charities. Reach out to a friend who you know is going through it. See how you can help them. Maybe offer some babysitting if they look like they're sinking. And there is such a thing, not only as collective energy, but help is high. And you feel great. You feel great when you do good things for others. What are we up to? 4, be unapologetically you. Stop trying to fit in. And, I always say this. Years ago, I used to just laugh along if I didn't get a joke, and I really took my power back when I started saying, I don't get it. Can you explain it? Or if I didn't find something funny, or if I wasn't comfortable, I didn't pretend to be. I no longer pretend to be. So just being your authentic self. And I even think about fashion, of how everyone looks stunning, but everyone looks the same. Everyone looks the same. I was speaking to this lady in this really cool artsy shop, and she was dressed very eccentrically, and I was looking at these crazy earrings with cockatiels on them. If you know me, I have a crazy earring collection. And we were talking, and I was like, everyone looks beautiful in their linens, but we're all starting to look the same. Everyone's got the same brows, the same hair, the same outfits. And what's wrong with a bit of individuality? And she's like, yes, I love to dress really outrageous and individual. I said, yeah, you have glebe markets written all over you. And I said, I went to school in Newtown, so I get it. I just think it's a really nice way to sort of express yourself. So be unapologetically you, but also be a bit unique. Stand out from the crowd. Don't worry about fitting in. How boring. Number 5, this is what I'm going through. Do not dim your light to make others feel comfortable. I had a family picnic yesterday, and I was walking along, and it was playing on my mind about the situation I'm going through. This lady walked past in a T-shirt, and and her T-shirt said, "Light up the world." Something light up the world. And I was like, it's so my message that I needed to read, because there's something wrong with people who feel the need to put you in a box, or feel when you're shining, it means their light's dimming. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. I used to work at a company not too many years ago, and it was predominantly men. Loved the dudes, got on with them. I am a guy's girl. I always have been. I'm like Elaine from Seinfeld. And there was a lady there who I was so warm with every situation from day one. She was older. It was literally just the two of us who were in the office every day. Could have been so special. We could have been real confidants, and it started that way. And she had a real guard up, and she gate-kept information and wouldn't tell me when guests were coming in. And I was the receptionist. I had to greet guests. She just would keep me in the dark. She didn't want me to be part of things, wanted me to look a bit foolish, so she would just gatekeep information. So I just could never, not only was I not set up for success, I was set up for failure, and it really chipped away at my soul. I just could never be the best version of myself. But more than that, it was such a waste of what could have been two women supporting each other. And she had a very tense relationship with her mother. Her mother was not kind to her. It was toxic. And I always really, really sympathized with her for that. I hate that shit. I don't know why women do that to their adult daughters. I hate that shit. And I always sympathized with her and talked her through it. But I also felt like I was punished for her relationship with her mum because she was upset about that and took it out on the nearest female. It felt like that. Honestly, I know this is clearly my side of the story, but I just wanted to stay in my own lane. That's all I ever want to do is keep my head down, do my work, and just move forward. And I always used to say, not only do I not want your job, I barely want my own. If you know me, you know that I've always been a very hard worker with a good, strong work ethic, but I have never in any way, shape or form tried to climb the corporate ladder because all I ever cared about were my creative pursuits. All I cared about was singing. Now I really care about podcasting. I want to make this my living. I don't care. I'm never trying to compete with someone, but they're creating a false narrative that there's competition, but there's not. And it just happens with women left, right and center, and it is such a waste. And it's so heartbreaking. I just, I have, do you know what I did with this particular woman? There was a time I remember, and I was in my late 30s, this was a few years ago, where I was walking past her office, which was right near mine, and I changed my walk. This is the conversation in my head. Don't look threatening. Don't strut. Just look small. Shrink yourself to not intimidate her. That breaks my heart that I even had that thought. It was like a real light bulb of, oh my God, I'm out there telling other women to just be bold, grab life by the balls, and I'm shrinking myself by changing my walk to appear less threatening. And I feel in some sense, I say the words that I'm not, and I'm still sometimes doing things like that. I have said to management in certain areas in the past, please don't promote me. I don't want trouble. I just, I don't want to upset anyone. I don't want to ruffle feathers. Ladies, please don't do that. Please never do that. You are not being mean. You are not tearing someone down by doing your best work or going for things or just shining your light. I'm really upset. I'm really upset that this happens in today's day and age with people of a certain age that should know better. But I'm upset that I allow it to get to me. Hence why the psychologist we had on here with the episode of anxiety has agreed to come back for a people pleaser episode. So we're going to figure out how to get rid of people pleasing. But I'm really going to hone in on that. Don't ever dim your light to make others feel comfortable. It's really distressing. What are we up to? 6? I didn't number these, but hey, let's say it's 6. Address the issue. When something is bothering you, sit down with a pen and paper, write out the problem, write out possible solutions. Who wrote that book? Was it, I don't think it's Gabby Bernstein, but someone wrote that. Marie Forleo or something. Everything is figure-outable. I say this all the time to Alan. I have a personality that will freak out. Absolutely. When something goes wrong, I will freak out and I will crumble. But I'll get back up and I'll get a pen and paper and I'll be like, what can we control? You can only control what's within your control. So Alan and I will sit down at the moment. Right, we've worked out, is there family that can help on some days to look after Leo? Because our issue at the moment is time and money, which I'm sure so many out there are like that. We know how to make more money. What we need is time to be able to make more money. We can't do that at the moment with a little person yanking on the cuffs of our pants to give that little person attention. So I've booked in a nanny for next week to start one day a week. Then we'll try with some family. Then as he gets a little bit bigger, I'm personally not comfortable with putting him in childcare while he's not walking or talking. I feel like he's just a little bit reliant on people, so I'd rather that one-on-one care. My personal decision. When he's a bit bigger, we'll do some childcare. I would love to be at home with him every day, but you know what? It's good to have time away too. Last Saturday, Alan went and visited his dad so I could have some time to myself, which was really just doing some podcasting work. And for the first time, this child's 8 months old, this was the first time, because I will sometimes shed a little tear when I'm at work and I miss him. I did not miss him on Saturday. I love Leo more than anything in this world, and I did not miss him for that one day, and that's okay. I needed it. I am struggling, and I haven't been struggling the whole time. I felt like the newborn days were a piece of cake. I'm struggling because I can't. I've got this much to fit in this much time, and it's not happening, and I needed that day, and that's okay. So having some time away, doing work, being in the office, that's okay. As much as I want to see him all the time, I think it's good. I think it's really good. I love the hybrid role and I love balance. So control what you can control, write out solutions and ask for help. I always have a neighbor knocking on my door saying, how can I help? Next time I'm struggling in Alan's way, I'm going to say, look, I'm going in the shower. Can you just come down? It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to get family and friends to do a babysitting night so you can go out to the movies. Our second last point is having an outlet. This is so important. For Alan, it's golf. For me, it's lots of different things. I love my infrared saunas, but I will tell you now that singing is my outlet. I was chatting with a girl at work about the vagus nerve, and how humming and gargling and using your voice is really important for that. So that's really good for your, stress, anxiety, your mental health, your well-being. Singing is my outlet. When I was a very angsty teen and was going through it, I would lock myself in my room and sing for hours. And then I became a singer and I would have to sing all the time through the week. And since Leo's born, I'll be lucky if I sing a few Alanis or Mariah or Gaga songs in the shower. I'm going to cry. I need it so much. And the other day I was really going through it and he was having a very needy, teary day. I sang so loud in the bathroom, in the shower. And I felt so good because it's a real physical release. Like if you're going through it, Louise Hay used to punch a pillow. People go to boxing. You can go for a run. Sometimes therapy's not enough. Sometimes you've got to do something physical because the energy is storing in your body and there's something that's an outlet. Now, does my voice sound tired to you? Because I'm having a throat issue where it's feeling closed up. My chakra issue is always my throat chakra. And when I'm going through it and I feel like someone's muzzling me or, misconstruing something or creating a false narrative, my throat chakra suffers. And singing is just a wonderful way for me to let it out. So find your thing, dance in the lounge room, go for boxing, whatever it is, but do something physical and not just exercise to make sure you're looking fit. Do something stupid. Do something that feels great. Orgasms work really good too. I really must get on that. Lastly, you know what I'm ending on. Get a gratitude practice. Thinking about what you already have attracts more of it by shifting your energy. I'm not going to harp on about it. You can say it out loud. You can think it. You can write it in your book. Absolutely thinking what you already have shifts your energy and the universe recognizes your energy. You are a magnet and it will send you more of what you already have or more of what you're thinking about. So address what the issue is, but do not dwell on it and dwell on what you have and watch your world change. That's it for today. And this is the very first episode I filmed in full and I'm going to put on YouTube. So jump on there to watch the full episode if you want to see a video. I thank you for listening. I appreciate you for being here. I am going through it, but don't fret. Don't send help. I just need a moment and it will be great. And I will shine and my life will be great. And I hope your life will be great. And I hope to dear God that you never, ever dim your light to make someone comfortable. It is the worst thing you can do, especially as a woman. Have a great week. Next episode is going to be an absolute banger. And if you have a moment, I request that you please, please, please on Apple subscribe, rate and review to help push this podcast to get even better guests each time. Thank you. I appreciate you. Fill up your cup and take good care of yourself. There is no resource more valuable than time, and I thank you for spending your time with us today. Your voice is so important, and we would love to hear which topics you would like discussed in future episodes. Please reach out by Instagram at Can I Get a Refill Podcast or on our private Facebook group to let us know. If you enjoyed this or previous episodes, we would be so grateful if you could please subscribe, rate, and review to help our voices continue to be heard. Catch you in the next episode.